I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. And in doing that, I know that I'm going to hurt.
That's of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
Kevin Hart has always been a household name for comedy lovers, known for his humor, charm, and high-energy performances. But beneath the laughs and the public persona, a much darker and more complex story seems to be unfolding. Recently, whispers have surfaced that Kevin Hart's association with the entertainment mogul Sean Diddy Combs goes far beyond the glitzy parties and Hollywood events they've both attended. Rumors now suggest that Hart may have been involved in something much more sinister, leading to him striking a deal with none other than the FBI. The question on everyone's mind: what exactly happened between Hart and Diddy, and why is Hart now seemingly terrified that certain details from those infamous gatherings could come to light?
Does he have a shot? I think his attorneys raised some good arguments.
I think they raise good arguments as well. Maybe this will be third time's the charm, because the difference between this bail motion and the prior two is that this one really does get to the heart of what the court was concerned about, which was witness intimidation.
The connection between Kevin Hart and Diddy has always raised eyebrows, but recently, the story has taken a dramatic and unexpected turn. Hart, who has been in the public eye for years due to his stand-up career, blockbuster movies, and sometimes tumultuous personal life, suddenly facing accusations that suggest his troubles run much deeper than we ever thought. According to emerging claims, Hart is now working with federal authorities, attempting to shield himself from potentially career-destroying revelations. And at the center of this storm is Diddy, whose reputation for throwing wild, star-studded parties has been a subject of fascination and controversy for years.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and pause, but like, just out.
What's interesting is that these two stars, who seem to come from different corners of the entertainment world, have been linked in ways that most fans didn't know. While Diddy's influence has long dominated the music scene, his reach has extended far beyond that. His network includes actors, musicians, athletes, and businessmen, and he's known for his ability to connect people, and sometimes to protect them. But what happens when those connections go sour?
Those situations lend to maybe some issues with tampering. And I do feel like there are victims who are scared to come forward, including my client. She was very nervous about if he was going to get bail this week. And once I told her, and then come after people, including her and some of the other individuals, and she was very relieved when he did not receive.
It's important to start by looking at Hart's long and complicated history with scandal. For years, Kevin Hart has been dodging controversies, from his admitted infidelities to his very public extortion case involving Montia Sabag. These incidents, which Hart often addresses with a mix of humor and apology, have portrayed him as a man who's made mistakes but who is ultimately trying to do better. In fact, Hart has built part of his comedy persona around these very public slip-ups, openly talking about his personal failings on stage and in interviews. But while Hart has always managed to bounce back, it seems like the stakes are higher now, and the potential consequences could be far more serious.
How is it going to impact the case? I think the impact would be more so if that person was revealed. It would be, I think, shocking to everyone.
One of the key events in Hart's past that hints at his vulnerability to blackmail and manipulation was the extortion case in 2017. At the time, Hart was embroiled in a major scandal when a video surfaced showing him in a compromising position with Montia Sabag. The video became the subject of an extortion attempt, with demands for millions to keep it under wraps. Rather than pay up, Hart chose to go public, issuing a tearful apology to his wife, Eniko Parrish, who was pregnant with their first child at the time. "I made a bad error in judgment," Hart said in an Instagram video. "I'm not perfect, but I'm also not going to allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes."
Montia had a relationship over a period of days about a month ago with Kevin Hart in Las Vegas.
Though Hart's public apology garnered sympathy, it also painted a clear picture of someone who had become a target for those who knew his secrets. His wealth, fame, and most crucially, his personal flaws made him a prime candidate for manipulation. And while Hart was able to navigate that particular scandal, it's possible that others saw this vulnerability as an opportunity to tighten their grip on the comedian.
She got it. She on vacation every day. When you see her picture, all she do is post vacation pictures with no nigga beside her. The nigga taking the picture.
This brings us to Diddy and the rumors surrounding his infamous parties. Diddy has long been a fixture in the upper echelons of the entertainment world, known not just for his music career, but also for his lavish lifestyle and the elite events he throws. These gatherings, which are reportedly attended by some of the biggest names in Hollywood and music, have gained a reputation for being more than just glamorous social affairs.
And matter of fact, Kevin, come here. Kev, I want you to talk about me as a baby. Come here, man. You mess it all up. I don't even feel comfortable with you in my bed. Hold on. Can you go get some girls? So get me in the bedroom with some girls? Let's get some girls up here, please.
According to various sources, Diddy's parties often involve activities that could spell disaster for anyone unlucky enough to find themselves implicated in any misdeeds. And this is where Hart's connection to Diddy starts to become much more intriguing.
Matter of fact, why the girls come? Hey, yo, no, check this out. No homo. Come here, man. Hey, yo, Kevin, come here. No homo. We're going to have a contest. You know we're going to have a contest. We're going to get our breath first because your breath be stinking sometimes. And we're going to go back and forth.
While there has been no official confirmation of what exactly goes on behind the closed doors of Diddy's events, rumors have swirled for years about what attendees might experience. Stories range from wild behavior to secretive and, at times, dangerous interactions between high-profile celebrities. These rumors have always hovered in the background of Diddy's public persona, whispered about in tabloids and hinted at in interviews, but rarely explored in depth. The suggestion now, however, is that Hart may have found himself wrapped up in something much more serious than just a night of fun.
This is my scene. I'm used to this type of thing. Doing what I do best. Oh, did the camera catch that? Got the camera. Got the camera off.
In fact, reports are now emerging that Hart may have become ensnared in a situation that left him vulnerable to blackmail, possibly orchestrated by Diddy himself. According to the latest claims, Diddy may have used his influence over Hart, leveraging information from past events to keep him in line. The exact nature of what Diddy may know or have on Hart is unclear, but sources close to the situation have suggested that it could be damaging enough to not only end Hart's career, but also wreck his marriage.
So I think they're just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it sticks because they know that their client is guilty and they're just trying to do the best that they can with a guilty client.
This alleged connection to Diddy's darker dealings adds a whole new layer to Hart's previous controversies. While we've always known that Hart struggled with personal demons, the suggestion that he's been caught up in a web of manipulation and coercion paints a much more troubling picture. And now, it seems like Hart has reached a breaking point, which could explain why he's reportedly cooperating with the FBI.
Look, I'm not going to talk about anything that I haven't said in court or in the papers. These are all great questions, but I'm just not going to get into it. So,
can you speak about your concerns about the leak and the video? You have spoken about that.
I did it in the court papers, and I'm just going to stick to the court papers. As you guys all know, let me just finish. As you all know, I made a request today for what we were calling a gag order, and I'm not going to walk out of court and do anything other than live up to that.
The notion that Kevin Hart, the man who built his empire on making people laugh, could be involved in an investigation of this magnitude is shocking, to say the least. It raises questions about just how far these allegations go and what kind of information Hart may be providing to authorities. Could it be that Hart, who has repeatedly found himself at the center of scandal, has finally had enough? Is he trying to break free from Diddy's influence by cutting a deal with federal agents? If so, it would explain why Hart has suddenly gone quiet on certain matters and why his public appearances have become more sporadic. Let's not forget that Diddy's own history is filled with controversy. Though he's often portrayed as a savvy businessman and music mogul, Diddy has also been involved in his fair share of scandals over the years. From legal battles to accusations of foul play, Diddy's reputation has always been one of a man who operates in the shadows, pulling strings and making deals that often go unnoticed by the public. And now it appears that some of those deals may be coming back to haunt him.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
What's particularly interesting about the current situation is the timing. Kevin Hart has always been good at managing his public persona, even in the face of personal turmoil. Whether it's through a heartfelt apology or a humorous take on his mistakes, Hart has mastered the art of damage control. But this time, things feel different. The rumors about his involvement with Diddy and the potential for legal repercussions suggest that Hart may be facing a scandal too big to simply laugh off. And with the FBI reportedly involved, it's clear that this situation has escalated far beyond anything Hart has dealt with before.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
So how did we get here? To understand Hart's predicament, we have to look at the events that led up to this point. Over the years, Hart's connection to Diddy has been largely overlooked by the media, overshadowed by more public figures in Hart's life. But for those in the know, it's been clear for some time that Hart and Diddy have a relationship that goes beyond the occasional party or industry event. Some have even speculated that Diddy may have played a role in helping Hart navigate his previous scandals, using his connections to keep things under wraps.
I almost crashed my car because I heard him say that Kevin's best friend, JT Jackson, had set him up.
In exchange for millions of dollars.
All the charges were dropped against JT, but they weren't dropped against Kevin.
They redug up, I guess, old LGBTQ jokes or something.
Correct.
That he was saying on Twitter, and they wanted him to apologize, and he said, you.
For instance, take Hart's extortion case in 2017. While Hart was quick to go public with his apology, there were rumors that certain key details were kept out of the media's hands. Could Diddy's influence have played a role in helping Hart contain the damage? It's certainly possible. After all, Diddy is known for his ability to make problems disappear, whether through legal means or otherwise. And if Hart did indeed rely on Diddy's help during that time, it would explain why he's remained so closely tied to the music mogul, despite their seemingly different paths in the industry.
Nah, I just see if I see him one day that I know for a fact he'll be behind bars. So it don't matter what he do now.
Now, as new allegations come to light, it appears that the dynamic between Hart and Diddy may be shifting. If the rumors are true and Hart has struck a deal with the FBI, it's likely that he's trying to distance himself from Diddy in an attempt to protect his career and personal life. But the question remains, what does Diddy have on Hart and how far will he go to keep it from being exposed?
Is there any possibility that he walks away clean from this, that everything is dropped and he faces no charges or any prison time?
Not impossible. I mean, anything is possible, but I don't see that happening. I see him kind of going the path of R. Kelly, where again, for so many decades, he was able to act with impunity and just, with harming so many.
This is where things get even murkier. Some sources suggest that Diddy has been holding on to information about Hart's behavior at his parties for years, using it as leverage whenever necessary. Others claim that Hart was involved in activities at these events that could be damaging not just to his career, but to his reputation as a family man. Whatever the truth is, it seems clear that Hart is now caught in a situation where he has no choice but to cooperate with authorities in order to protect himself.
The only way he will not go to prison for the time that they want to give him is if he start giving them something.
And what about Diddy? If Hart is indeed working with the FBI, it could spell trouble for the music mogul. While Diddy has always managed to stay one step ahead of the law, this situation feels different. Hart's involvement could bring unwanted attention to Diddy's past, potentially exposing secrets that have been hidden for years. And if Hart's allegations about blackmail and manipulation are proven true, it could lead to a major reckoning for Diddy in both the public and legal arenas.
Don't think he don't know. You pay those lawyers to know. Those lawyers know what he's gonna beat, and those lawyers know what he ain't gonna beat.
As we move into the next phase of this story, it's clear that the stakes are higher than ever. Hart's career, his marriage, and his reputation all hang in the balance, and with Diddy's influence now under scrutiny, the fallout could be significant for both men. The question now is, what will Kevin Hart do next? And how will Diddy respond to these allegations that threaten to unravel everything he's built? As the details of Kevin Hart's alleged deal with the FBI continue to unravel, it's clear that this isn't just another celebrity scandal. We're talking about a situation so intense, so potentially damaging, that Hart may be risking everything he's built in order to shield himself from its fallout. The question now is whether this bold move will protect him, or if it'll backfire and bring his world crashing down. With Diddy rumored to be at the center of it all, the stakes couldn't be higher, and Hart's every move is under the microscope. Now, let's dive into the explosive claims that have surfaced. The most shocking among them is that Kevin Hart claims he's the victim of manipulation and coercion by Diddy himself. Think about that for a moment. This isn't just about a party or a night that got out of control. We're talking about Hart accusing one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment world of blackmail. He's allegedly said that Diddy's influence runs so deep that it's not only controlling his career, but also threatens his personal life. Hart's reportedly so desperate to protect himself from Diddy's reach that he's willing to cooperate with federal authorities, potentially exposing details that could upend everything he's worked for.
Right?
Nah, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Rumors have circulated for years about what goes on at Diddy's infamous parties. These aren't your typical Hollywood gatherings. They're described as wild, secretive, and full of the kind of activities that could ruin reputations in an instant. And now, the theory is that Diddy might have have been holding on to incriminating information about Hart, using it as leverage whenever he needed to keep the comedian in line. But what could be so severe that Hart would go as far as striking a deal with the FBI? It seems we're only scratching the surface here. Adding fuel to the fire, Diddy himself has a long history of controversy. Over the years, he's been linked to countless stories that paint him as a master manipulator behind the scenes. He's built an empire, but the road hasn't been smooth. From business deals that fell apart to rumors of personal disputes, Diddy's reputation has always had a darker edge. It's as if he's a puppeteer pulling strings from the shadows, shaping the careers and lives of those around him. For Kevin Hart, that could mean years of control, influence, and now blackmail. If these allegations are true, it would explain why Hart feels he has no choice but to cooperate with the authorities.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
It's hard to imagine the pressure Kevin Hart must be under right now. With his marriage and career at risk, he's navigating treacherous waters. After all, this is a man who's no stranger to scandal, but this time, the stakes are on a whole other level. Previous controversies, like the 2017 extortion case, were damaging, but they didn't threaten his entire career. Hart was able to apologize, regroup, and keep going. But this is different. Now, Hart isn't just facing public scrutiny. He's potentially facing the wrath of someone who could end his career with the snap of a finger.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation.
Diddy, on the other hand, is staying silent, which only adds to the intrigue. It's a well-known fact that he's fiercely protective of his image. He rarely lets anyone see behind the curtain, so this situation is particularly unusual. If the rumors are true, Diddy has a lot more to lose than just his reputation. We're talking about legal implications, potential fallout with other high-profile celebrities, and even the risk of his empire crumbling. If Hart does indeed have evidence that could expose Diddy's actions, it might be enough to finally bring the music mogul down. But will he go through with it?
I think you're right, Puff, dude. He might need to get out of here.
It's
man. Over with. Did your thing. It's
you had a hell of a run.
That's it.
And you still have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Let's talk about Hart's family. He's made no secret of the fact that his wife, Eniko, and their children mean the world to him. Hart's been open about his past mistakes, especially when it comes to his relationship. He's publicly apologized for his infidelities, trying to mend the damage caused by his previous scandals. But if what he's now facing is as serious as it seems, it could destroy any chance he has at keeping his family together. Eniko has stood by him through thick and thin, but this might be the tipping point. After all, there's only so much one person can endure, and these allegations could be the final straw. One has to wonder, what does Eniko know? Is she aware of the full extent of Hart's involvement in this mess? Has he confided in her about the alleged threats from Diddy? Or is she finding out along with the rest of us as these rumors continue to spread? If Hart is indeed trying to protect his family by working with the FBI, it might be a move he's making for their sake. But that doesn't mean it won't have consequences. Eniko could decide that enough is enough and walk away, especially if these new revelations prove too much to handle.
I think industry talk, there's a lot of people who have worked for him. There's been stories around, which is, not necessarily unusual.
Kevin Hart's career has always thrived on his ability to connect with his audience through humor. He's the relatable guy who's made mistakes, the comedian who isn't afraid to laugh at himself. But this situation threatens to strip away that persona, leaving behind a man who's not just flawed, but deeply entangled in a world of manipulation and deceit. If these allegations prove true, Hart might find it impossible to return to the stage as the lighthearted comedian we all know. Instead, he could become a figure associated with scandal, a man who's more infamous than funny.
Nor did you apologize for lying that you didn't do what you knew you was on tape doing. So who was this apology for? I'll tell you who it was for. Diddy's ego. Diddy's brand. Diddy and his handlers are looking at this all wrong. You trying to salvage his...
And what about Diddy's reaction to all of this? If he truly has the kind of influence over Hart that's being suggested, he's not going to let this slide. Diddy has a reputation for protecting what's his, and he's not the type to back down from a challenge. If Hart is indeed working with the FBI to bring him down, we can expect Diddy to respond in kind. This could turn into a battle between two of the entertainment world's most powerful figures, each trying to outmaneuver the other. And if it does, we're in for a spectacle, unlike anything Hollywood has seen before.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
It's fascinating to think about how this will play out in the public eye. Kevin Hart has always been a media darling, but his fans might not be so forgiving this time around. Allegations of blackmail, manipulation, and secret deals with the FBI aren't exactly the stuff of comedy shows. Hart supporters could find themselves torn between their love for his humor and the harsh reality of the situation he's in. As for Diddy's fans, they're no strangers to controversy, but this time the stakes are higher. The question is, will they stand by him if these allegations gain traction, or will they distance themselves from a man who's long been rumored to play by his own rules?
Go from his independence to then becoming Puff Daddy, you know what I'm saying? And I got a front row seat.
This scandal could have far-reaching implications for both Hart and Diddy's careers. Hart could face backlash from sponsors, film studios, and fans who might not want to be associated with someone caught up in a potential legal battle of this magnitude. Diddy, on the other hand, might see his business ventures suffer if his reputation takes a hit. And let's not forget that both men have extensive networks in the entertainment world. If this situation escalates, we could see other celebrities dragged into the fray, either as allies or as collateral damage. As Hart's story continues to unfold, it's becoming clear that this isn't just about two celebrities at odds. This is a story about power, influence, and the lengths people will go to protect their secrets. Hart's decision to allegedly cooperate with the FBI could have repercussions that go far beyond his own life. By taking this step, he's not just risking his career and his family, he's challenging one of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry. And in doing so, he's setting the stage for a showdown that could shake Hollywood to its core.
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
What's especially intriguing is that both men have built their careers on their public images. Kevin Hart is the funny guy, the everyman who's overcome obstacles and made a name for himself through sheer determination. Diddy, on the other hand, is the mogul, the mastermind who's always a step ahead. But now both of those images are under threat. Hart could find himself seen as a man who's lost control of his life, while Diddy's reputation as a powerful, untouchable figure could crumble if these allegations stick. It's a clash of two personas that the public has grown to love, and seeing them unravel could change the way we view both men forever.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
As this story develops, it's worth considering what Hart and Diddy stand to lose. For Hart, it's not just about his career or his reputation. It's about his family, his future, and everything he's worked so hard to build. For Diddy, the stakes are just as high. His empire is built on the image of a man who's in control, a man who calls the shots. But if Hart's cooperation with the FBI leads to a full-blown investigation, Diddy could find himself facing consequences he never anticipated. And if that happens, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for Diddy, but for everyone associated with him. In the end, this story is a reminder that fame and fortune come at a price. Kevin Hart and Diddy are two of the biggest names in entertainment, but they're also human beings with secrets, vulnerabilities, and weaknesses. And as those secrets come to light, we're left to wonder how they'll navigate the storm that's about to hit. Will Hart's decision to cooperate with the FBI protect him, or will it only make things worse? And what will Diddy do to maintain his hold on power? These are questions that only time will answer, but one thing's for sure, the drama is far from over. As we look ahead, it's clear that both men are at a crossroads. Hart has the opportunity to come clean, to put everything on the table and hope for the best. But doing so could mean exposing not just himself, but his family to a level of scrutiny they've never experienced. Diddy, meanwhile, has a choice to make. He can either fight back using every resource at his disposal to maintain his grip on the situation, or he can step back, let the chips fall where they may, and see what happens. It's a high-stakes game, and the outcome could change the course of both their lives forever.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
And so, as the world watches, Kevin Hart and Diddy find themselves in a situation that's both shocking and all too familiar in Hollywood. They're two powerful men caught in a web of rumors, accusations, and potential legal battles that could redefine their legacies. And as we await the next chapter in this story, one thing is clear. Whatever happens next, it's going to be big. Hart and Diddy are playing for keeps, and the stakes have never been higher. As this incredible story continues to unfold, one can't help but wonder, just how deep does this rabbit hole go? Will Kevin Hart's alleged cooperation with the FBI be enough to shield him? Or could it be the very thing that unravels his life as he knows it? And as for Diddy, will his reputation survive this scandal? Or are we finally seeing cracks in the empire he's built? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to share your own theories on where this wild ride might take us next. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next one.